Hi everyone, welcome to the March astrology video. This month in March, energy starts up relatively slow in Pisces and then gradually starts picking up pace in Aries. A lot of realizations with karmic cycles through inner reflection occurred during the earlier part of the month, where we have the opportunity to heal old stories. In the later part of the month, we are initiated to bring up a new persona and a new ego based on the new spiritual path. The month starts out slow, but be ready to move forward with actions. For now, we're going to be moving away from the Taurus and Aquarius square between Uranus and Saturn, but we will be facing some challenges according to the Pisces and Gemini square that will be going on in the month of March. First off, the Sun in Pisces transit brings a lot of the spiritual energy to the forefront of our awareness. Pisces is symbolized by the two fish in the ocean. This represents the connection between the water. It is this invisible connection that all the fish have through the ocean. Although they cannot see the water, it is there, just like spirit in our sense. The Pisces energy is connected to the vast, deep oceanic energy. It has the ability to envelop everything. It is also the start and the end of all life. Oceans also have this sense of deep, dark mystery of otherworldliness. In this sense, the Pisces energy is about being lost at sea and moving forward with faith. Because of this, things are going to feel very confusing, overwhelming, a lot of observation through patterns and life cycles and even past lives become aware because we are able to see and even sense the whole bigger picture and the bigger story of our soul. With this energy, most people are going to feel fed up. With the oceanic energy of Pisces, it is very overwhelming with a lot of pressure. People are going to feel triggered, and people are going to feel like they're experiencing something very similar to their past or their life story. In this sense, there is an opportunity to heal from our past and our past cycles and move on to a different spiritual story. Since Pisces is the energy beyond the 3D world and beyond anything we can see, many weird experiences are possible. I expect the beginning of March to already be very mystical with intuitive downloads and synchronistic events where we are forced to see beyond the 3D world. If people are not already awakened to the spiritual world, this is a month where they're going to be shook up to be awoken, and people who are already awakened will gain more intuitive knowledge as well as have the opportunity to sign off from an old karmic story and rebuild and sign up to a new karmic story. Now, the Pisces transits have been very special in our lifetime because of Neptune's presence in Pisces. Neptune takes 14 years to go through one sign, and it takes 168 years to go through all 12 signs. So in a sense, Neptune going through a sign is a once-in-a-lifetime transit. What's even more special is the fact that Neptune rules Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces is a very favorable, even very powerful placement for both Pisces and Neptune energy. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2012 and will be in Pisces until 2026. Neptune in Pisces is dubbed the great spiritual awakening of our lifetime, as well as the age of illusion and deception. It is very difficult to explain what Pisces is going to do for each one of us because Pisces literally is everything. So we can be very transcendent or we can be very depressed. But the universal story through Pisces is the fact that it is trying to show you a pattern or a karmic story that you have signed onto based on the reactions or actions that you have taken thus far. Either very happy or very sad, it is trying to push you and awaken you to the spiritual dimension of our universe. Since Pisces is a water sign, the work required to navigate through Pisces season is very inner reflective. Pisces is the energy of sleeps and dreams. It is the primordial goo before we take action in Aries, which is why many a times Pisces is God or any sort of deity with Neptune in Pisces. However, Neptune in Pisces is a very blurry, overwhelming, very fuzzy, not so clear energy. So it's not straightforward. For people who like to have clear boundaries, a start to and a finish, a step-by-step toward transcendence is very difficult for Pisces. It is very fuzzy. You're not sure if you're moving forward or if you're going backwards, which is why, again, people can feel very fed up. Try to bring compassion and forgiveness and even selflessness to the table. A lot of gratitude can go a long way. When the sun conjuncts Neptune or catches up with Neptune, this is going to be the time of climax, of transcendence or confusion. The themes we talked about with Neptune in Pisces will be at its most highest energy, highest awareness, as the sun gets closer and connects with Neptune. At this point in time, there should be a clear picture of our big life cycle. Adding to the sun and Neptune in Pisces, we also have Venus in Pisces. Venus is about opening up and rewards, also business and money. So Venus in Pisces is trying to open us up and help us receive from the spiritual realm. Venus likes being in Pisces, since Pisces is about imagination and creativity, and Venus is also about creativity. It's about enjoying. So Venus in Pisces is very pleasant. However, it can be very indulgent. Venus is also in Pisces following the sun. Venus is reward and pleasure, so behind the sun, it is picking up on all the rewards that the sun is starting to become aware of. With the sun and Venus together in Pisces, it is truly opening us up to the spiritual world. On the other side, from the beginning of the month, we have Mars finishing Taurus and entering Gemini. Mars is the planet of action and assertiveness and even aggression. So Mars in Gemini is going to bring more ego and action toward our mentality, our communication, and our mental connections. Mars in Gemini is actually one of the first speeding up moments in the month. Gemini is already about fast movement, going back and forth. When Gemini is in this state, it is supercharged. Mars in Gemini can bring a lot of argument, a lot of conversations that need discussion or battling out, people talking over each other, maybe no one listening, but everyone talking, maybe even yelling. On a positive sense, Mars in Gemini has the ability to express and release mental energy with many ideas and a lot of thinking going on. And in addition to the Mars in Gemini, we also have had the North Node in Gemini. Mars will catch up to the North Node during this month. This brings an increased push and increased pressure, increased aggressiveness toward the ascension and evolution toward the Gemini energy. Mars in Gemini and the North Node in Gemini is trying to make us think differently, trying to think things through the other person's shoes. I believe communication and conversation to be heightened. Now, what's difficult in this situation is that Mars and North Node in Gemini will be squaring all the Pisces energy that I talked about before. A square aspect already denotes a hard dynamic. In our case, it is between Pisces and Gemini. We spoke about how Pisces is about sleeps and dream, and then Gemini is about logical thinking. The difficulty between a Pisces-Gemini square is that they're both mutable. Two mutable signs make things very blurry, slippery, very accident prone. Pisces is usually logged off, and then Gemini is on and off at the same time, so it's very busy. The mental energy is occupied by Gemini, and then our intuitive senses are occupied by Pisces. In a sense, it's very distracting. It's hard to focus. There's a lack of concentration. In a positive sense, although very difficult, it is about a moment of enlightenment, where our logical mind and our intuitive senses can build upon each other and support each other. However, since this is a square aspect, that is very difficult. There's going to be a lot of information coming in from the Gemini side, a lot of opinions, a lot of voices, a lot of words, and then Pisces even inflating all of this, bringing imagination and creativity, but it just becomes too much between these two energies. I suspect there's going to be even more confusion, although we are going to want to move forward, especially with our mind. Now, while all of this is happening in the first half of the month, Mercury is still in Aquarius. It has just finished its retrograde and is starting to move direct. At this point, it is trying to complete its last shadow period. This means that it is going through the last parts where it retrograded. This means that Mercury is still collecting and still processing the information it has retrograded before. Since Mercury is all the way behind the sun in Aquarius, our mind is a lot more slower and is behind than our consciousness, awareness, the sun. Mercury, our mind, is picking up the pieces in Aquarius before it can move on to Pisces. Mercury will conjunct Jupiter earlier in the month and then trail through Aquarius and move into Pisces. While Mercury is in Aquarius, it is still processing and bringing more wisdom to the Aquarius realm and the Aquarius energy, where we talked about belonging and social networking. Once Mercury is done with Aquarius and moves into Pisces, our minds will start getting a better picture of what this spiritual story and Pisces lesson is about. Until then, just the sun and Venus, just our awareness and our sense of openness is going through Pisces. For this reason, there's really not much we can do in the Pisces realm yet. It is more like watching a movie or sitting in a theater and having the film roll by. We are watching, observing, and letting it in, and letting go of what is not needed. It is going to be difficult to stay in our seats and keep focused on the movie while Mars in Gemini is going to give us different types of stimulation and we're going to want to talk in the theater and such. There is a sense of restlessness in Gemini. So before Mercury goes into Pisces, we have the new moon in Pisces. This new moon is very special because Venus and Neptune are conjunct each other at 20 degrees. During the new moon in Pisces, both the sun and the moon are in Pisces. When both the sun and moon are in a sign, they are seeped into that sign. Pisces is already about sleep. So when the sun and moon are both together in Pisces, their energies are very dormant. It is very close and one with the universe or God. It is intuiting and downloading information from that higher dimension. I suggest people to relax, meditate, even watch a movie, if not soak in a bathtub, or if sleep and dream through the new moon. You will be releasing unconscious, subconscious energies in such a way. Like I've said before, while the sun is conjunct Neptune, and then this new moon, and then this Venus-Neptune conjunction, I believe this is going to be the climax point. This is going to be a time where we set intentions to sign on to a new karmic story. It is going to be a spiritual, transcendent moment. It is going to be an inner reflective time. It may be only stories that you notice, but it is for your karmic and spiritual story. If you are still asleep and still not awakened to the spiritual realm, people will go through experiences to wake up to the spiritual nature of the world. If people are still fighting against waking up to the spiritual reality of the universe, they will have experiences that will shake them up to wake up. If you already are awake about the spiritual realm, you may learn a lot more or even have the opportunity to heal from past cycles and life cycles. Since Pisces is the spiritual energy and the energy behind everything, it is hard to say what each person is going to go through. However, the Pisces lesson is to show us our spiritual karmic story for each individual. While the sun is in Pisces, we are moving through our spiritual karmic energy. Once the sun moves into Aries, we will have a lot more energy to move forward. Things are going to feel a lot lighter once the sun moves into Aries. Aries represents the ego, the identity, or the persona. The Aries symbol is symbolized by the ram. In that Greek traditional sense, rams are known for headbutting with their horns. Also used as a depiction for battling rams, it represents the energy to break through and push forward. For this reason, it is the first sign of the zodiac and is the sign that expresses initiation and activation. Many of the Aries themes are connected to fight or flight energy. It has to do with survival. In a more romantic sense, it is the hero. It is the soldier on the battlefield. It has the courage and the strength to move forward for what is right. This is why, in a sense, Aries energy is about heat and wars. Everyone's ego is going to come online. With the sun in Aries, our awareness is going to turn to our persona, our identity, and our personality. This is the time where we will have the opportunity to learn and rewrite our ego's story. Now, in this traditional sense of the Aries energy, this is why the Pisces energy behind Aries is so important. Aries is going to fight. The army or the soldier is going to fight. But it all really depends on what deity or what god they're fighting for. Does the Aries soldier have compassion, or is it just drunk on power and just conquering and fighting? This is why the Pisces energy during the first half of the month is so important, so we can rewrite our spiritual karma. This dictates the hero's story, the Aries story. So I advise everyone to take time and hibernate during the Pisces energy to clear out spiritual karmic stories so you can be renewed during the sun in Aries as a new persona with new awareness and a new spiritual identity. Aries energy usually symbolizes aggression. So when the sun moves into Aries with all that dormant energy, overwhelming energy in Pisces, usually people tend to burst out during an Aries transit. So I tend to observe more accidents or more arguments during the sun in Aries because this is when our ego or identity is pushing. Again, this all depend on the Pisces realm and the spiritual energy you have cleared. Most likely, people who have not cleared up the karmic Pisces energy will have to release it in an Aries aggressive form. Now, what's really important with the Aries energy is how the Aries energy has been changing and healing a whole lot. For the whole universe and everybody, it is about our identity, it is about our persona, it is ascending our egos. What's the main focus in Aries is the fact that Chiron is transiting through Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. In the sense of transits, Chiron has to do with healing. Chiron in Aries is healing our egos, healing our mode of action, healing our mode of assertion, what we fight for or what we run away from. With the sun transiting through Aries, again, it is going to bring awareness to the Aries energy. So the sun transiting through Aries, as well as its conjunction to Chiron, is going to show us the progress of its healing, of how far we have come with this new Aries energy. I do suspect some good energy first half of the sun's transit in Aries, since it sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. With the Aries and Aquarius energy sextiling each other, I suspect that it is going to be a very grounded position of energy. I believe the new wisdom that has come through the earlier parts of Aquarius will work well with the early part of Aries. A new ego and a new belonging should come together. There should be a sense of solidity and progress when it comes to the healing of our egos and healing of ourselves. Although this energy is going to bring some stability, the Pisces-Gemini square is still going on. This shows even more confusion between the Pisces and Gemini energy. The Mars in Gemini is pushing logic and reasoning, as well as trying to understand with our mind, while Mercury, on the other hand, is focused on imagination and creativity and having intuitive downloads. We could have new intuitive downloads and new information coming in, but we might have a hard time making sense of them. So because of this Aries pushing energy and some confusion going on between the mutable energies, I suspect energy to be moving forward by the end of the month, but there is still going to be some confusing energy and some energy that is accident prone. Even though energy is going to be pushing us, I advise people to take things slow. It won't be a matter of if you're paying attention or if you're listening, if you are intuiting the correct information. It's really about taking things slow and not letting your mind go rampant. With Mars in Gemini, our ego or the masculine energy can be thinking one way or saying one way, and then our Pisces energy may be intuiting or sensing something different. Venus also enters Aries once the sun enters Aries. Venus and the sun will be close hanging out during all this month, which is a great receptive, beauty-oriented, money-oriented, feminine energy-oriented time. Venus in Aries rewards and finds beauty in action, in assertion, in competition. I believe with Venus and Sun together in Aries, the feminine energy is going to be more empowered and have more energy, while the Mars energy, since it is squaring a lot of the Pisces energy, the male energy is going to be more held back, especially for Aries. But for all feminine energies, it is a really good time to re-identify and re-personify the feminine energy. In a way, it is a fertile time to awaken the divine feminine. Now, the Libra full moon that happens in the end of the month is also very powerful. This is very powerful because Sun, Venus, and Chiron are all conjunct each other for this full moon. This truly shows me how the divine feminine or the feminine energy is being healed. It is being empowered and brought to life and brought to light. On a global level, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some movements happening when it comes to women's issues. And then on personal levels, there should be some women's issues or female issues coming to the front for each individual person. If not in a symbolic way, it is an action to move forward in finding that empowerment. The moon in Libra is going to charge our emotions when it comes to equality and fairness. The Libra sign already rules Venus, and Venus being part of this full moon brings it more power to this fairness and beauty and the feminine energy. To me, this shows me how the male, masculine, Mars, Aries energy and the Libra, Venus energy is finding a neutral point by understanding each other's polarity. And this I see as a true healing, where we are able to see fairness and finding that right balance between these polarities beyond gender. This full moon truly is an opportunity to not only heal, but to move forward with the healing, with the opening that we have made. This is why, again, going back to the Pisces energy is so important, because the Pisces energy is going to set the stage, set that primordial goo, set that energy behind all the healing that's going to be presented to us. This full moon, if not already, is one of the main awakening moments for that feminine energy, and to find that equality between the drastic polar energies. Like I said before, the Aries energy and the ego energy has been doing a lot of work to ascend, evolve, and to transcend. With the sun in Aries, I believe there is going to be a lot of awareness toward this progress. The whole world is changing its mode of action and where we hold our ego. This is going to literally change the game. Each one of us will be re-identifying with a new persona and have the opportunity to move forward. I advise everyone to work through their karmic stories and have a good time resting your body and soul, so once we are called to move forward, we are ready and prepared. Since the sun is transiting through Pisces, a mutable sign, and then going through Aries and cardinal sign, the whole fixed square energy between Taurus and Aquarius with Saturn and Uranus are going to be on the back burner. However, they're not going to be letting off its pressure throughout the whole year. So don't think that it's over because we are out of their energy. Once Aries is finished and the sun moves in Taurus, we will revisit this energy between Saturn and Uranus. For now, our focus is going to stray away from this, so we will have some opportunity to work around all this stuck energy. I hope everyone has a transcending, mystical March. Thank you for watching the March monthly astrology video, and hope to see you guys next month. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and follow me on Instagram.